Hey everyone, welcome back. I had a question from a viewer asking me about the Clarke 5.5 gallon tank, and he was asking about, is it any good? Would you do a review? You know, do you like it? Have you had some problems? Have you had some cracks with the tank at all? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I've owned this tank for, at least 5 years, and put a lot of time on it, and I have had a couple of issues with it, and so I wanted to talk through some of the things that I've had to do with it, and give you some tips about, you know, installation if you want to go and purchase one of these yourself through Clarke. So let's get into it. All right, so I thought this would be a great time to make this review because I have the engine out of the frame right now. I'm rebuilding the engine, replacing the crankshaft. So I've got everything disassembled. So this would be the perfect time to talk about this fuel tank and everything, and how I have it mounted. So I guess I will start with. I'll just get into the some of the issues I have had with it. And yes, I have had it crack. I have had a couple of leaks that I've had to repair with it, and you know, there's a real possibility that this could have been due to my, you know, negligence, as far as maybe I didn't install it right, or maybe I had one of the bolts tightened down too tight. So I am not pointing the fingers at the manufacturer on this video. I'm just wanting to point out you know, some of the issues that I've had, and that's what you guys are asking about. So basically this is where I've had a little bit of fuel leakage coming out of this bolt hole, and basically the threaded insert that goes into the tank, it has leaked around that. And so I've actually had to repair a leak twice on this particular threaded insert. And what I've used to do that is this product here. It's called The Last Glue, and this stuff is not your typical super glue. This is not something you're going to buy at Harbor Freight or the drugstore or Home Depot or anything like that. This is actually a company, and this stuff is it happens to be quite expensive. I think I paid about $50 for this kit at the RV show in Quartzsite, Arizona. Anyways, this is like an aircraft quality glue, okay? And what's cool about it, they have this like sand. It's kind of like a fine sand that comes in it, and you can, you know, sand after it hardens, you can sand it down to, you know, to get it to fine tune. But I have used this stuff here, and it has totally fixed the leak that I've had. I really like this stuff a lot. I've used it for a lot of other things, a lot of other repairs and stuff, but I'm sure that there's some other things that you could probably use, maybe some epoxy. I've never tried it. I've just, you know, I had a windshield washer reservoir on my truck that I was leaking, and I used this stuff to repair that. So really good stuff. But yeah, so on this, I've had some issues there. So that's as far as leaking goes. That's the only kind of issue I've had there. As far as the fuel cap, I did have to replace this not very soon after I had purchased the tank. This is actually an XR650 OEM fuel cap, and since I put this on, I haven't had any problems. The one that Clarke sent with it, which was, I think, one of their caps, it had split right up here on the top of it. So you're going to want to get one of these if you buy one of these tanks. It's an XR650. You know, they come with these are, I think these came with it. These are these little grommets and stuff, and they've split and cracked and, you know, rubbered a little. They've just, you know, cracked and stuff a bit. You know, when you do install it on the frame, you want to have it, you know, this way. You want to have the metal on top so that the rubber bushing compresses on the frame. But I may end up just, you know, finding something or making a rubber bushing. Probably I'll just make one in the future. One of the cool things that, you know, with Clarke is you can actually go onto their website and you can buy these brackets, bolts, rubber bushings. You can buy these. They replace these are sold. You can buy the cap that they give you, which is not going to be worth anything in my opinion, unless they made some changes and found a different manufacturer to make them or something. But you can buy all the hardware off of Clarke. So if you maybe you find one of these on Marketplace, and you can go to Clarke and buy these things. However, you could easily make these brackets. They're just aluminum flat stock, and get some rubber bushings and stuff. So you could come up and make a lot of this kind of stuff as well. So I am using, that's what the bottom of the tank looks like. They have these rubber whatever, cushions and stuff that they cushion the frame. That's all worked out well. I am running a dual pingle on here as well, and as you can see, it actually has 2 gaskets on it, and this is one kind of thing that when I first got this tank, I think I only ran one, and then it ended up leaking. And so they do tell you in the instructions to run two of these gaskets, the one that they give you, in addition to the one that's also on the pingle as well. So if you don't, you're going to end up with leaks. So, but I haven't had any trouble at all with any leaks around the fuel valve. I like these dual pingles because if you do get some debris in the filter, all you have to do is unthread it right here, unthread it out, and you can pull it out and clean it, and then just when you reinstall it, just put some threaded pipe tape on the threads to seal it off. So that's worked out really well. The other things, as far as okay, I guess I'll kind of talk about installations. That's the installation and stuff of it. That's the only leaking kind of issues. That kind of covers that. So where it does, I have had I don't know, it seems to kind of ride a little bit on the frame rail right here up top. So I've just taken some tape and I put a little bit of tape in a couple of places to just kind of cushion that, so it doesn't, just to give it a little bit of cushion. But I have mounted this tank a couple of different ways, and basically what I've learned through trying a couple of different things, when you mount this thing, you want to mount it flush on the frame. You don't want to use any washers back here. You want to just basically follow the instructions. The only place that I've had to use washers is actually up here on top. I've had to use a couple of washers on each side to shim it. Okay, so shimming underneath here on the frame, because it's really important that you get these brackets up here seated right to where they're not torquing or anything, that they're laying flat when you connect them to the frame, because I think that has a lot of the problems with why people end up getting leaks and stuff on these inserts, because they either over tighten them or they're tweaking the part. So that's important. And you also, I would recommend using some Loctite on these bolts. You don't want to over tighten these things. I mean, they are a little bit sensitive. So I think I have also upgraded and used a lock washer, where possible, to just prevent some things from backing off. But I have tried, using washers back here, and that didn't work out well. So I just mounted it right to the frame. But this is a really good upgrade. There's 5.5 gallons, and then I'm also running a PRM grab bar, and I have a 2.5 gallon can that I can put on the back of this, so I can carry like 7 gallons of fuel on this, go out on a long ride. So that's really great, because these these motors, they like fuel, and I've got a big 421 on here, so it likes fuel. But other than that, yeah, it's a good tank. I know, IMS is another company that makes one. I haven't had any experience with that. I'd kind of like, well, actually, I am planning on buying one of those off of Marketplace when I find one, just to have one, maybe a backup, and maybe compare the Clarke to the IMS. But as far as, I know a lot of people complain that, these things leak and stuff. Well, I mean, you can repair them, so just keep that in mind. You can get a product like this, or you can find something else. You can, anything can be repaired. So, I just kind of keep that in mind. But, I guess, I'll just kind of say this too. I mean, I've never had problems with the factory fuel tank as far as leaking or anything. I have never had a problem. So, look, I mean, if you want to, have the same amount of fuel as this has, you can just buy one of these grab bars off of, Marketplace for pretty cheap, $50 or, whatever. And you can carry about 2.5 gallons on the back. So, that's going to put you at the same amount of quantity as this here. So, I think, that's a great way to go too. And then you don't have to, okay, I'm glad I brought that up, the plastics. Yeah, you don't have to cut your plastics. So if you look at mine, I have had to modify my, my plastics, to make this tank work. I've used my Dremel in a sanding drum and, just, cleaned everything up. But yeah, you are going to have to cut your plastics, so you might want to, if you are going to do this, keep that in mind. I probably would try to find, a used plastic, some used plastic on, Marketplace or something, then cutting up a, an original plastic piece, because these things just happen to be so expensive to replace. So that's kind of something else. And I did also have to do a little bit of trimming on the radiator grill. Also, I had to do a little bit of trimming on that to kind of get it to fit right. I am running an oversized radiator on this also. But yeah, I think that kind of pretty much covers it. Also too, Clarke does do like, around Thanksgiving time, they do like a Black Friday sale. They give in like 10 or 20% off or whatever. Sometimes, they have sales on their website, if you want to save a little bit of extra money during that time of the year, they do offer some discounts. That's kind of something else to keep in mind. But I do see these come up for sale a lot, on Marketplace. I'm sure you could probably get into, maybe even painting this kind of stuff, painting this plastic and stuff. I like the clear because I can see the level of fuel. I don't, with running a dual pingle, I don't have a reserve. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. You are going to want to kind of, these bolts back here, I would torque them down with some Loctite. You don't want to, you really got to be careful. You don't want to over tighten these things and, potentially crack or break this plastic. So I really would, use a torque wrench, on this stuff, where possible, so that, you're not over tightening it. So anyways, I think that's about it. So I hope that this answers your questions. If you guys have any other Banshee related questions about anything, comment below, and I'll see if I can share what knowledge I have. Catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.